Feeling hijacked by your emotions? You'll want to give this 5-minute resiliency practice a try. A lot of times I give you tips on things you can do in your body to help with stress and anxiety. So a lot of that's like breathing. But this is a mental exercise that you can use anywhere, anytime when you feel like you're just lost in your emotions. So I call this practice name, notice, nurture. So it's 3 steps. The first thing is name your emotions. So what is it that you're feeling? Are you angry? A lot of times if we're angry, what's really happening is we're hurt or we're scared. Are you feeling anxious? Are you happy? Are you stressed? Are you overwhelmed? Give your emotion a name. And instead of saying, I am stressed, say, I feel stressed. It gives you a little bit of space from the emotion. The second part is to notice. So where in your body do you feel your emotion right now? And for those of us who are really logical people who are stuck up here all the time, this takes a little bit of practice. You might even have to close your eyes and really focus. But where in your body are you feeling it? If you're feeling stressed, maybe you feel it in your chest. Or maybe if you're sad, you feel it in the pit of your stomach. Maybe your body is aching or your shoulders are tight, or maybe you feel it right in your temples. But really notice. Sometimes it's helpful to dig even deeper. So to think about, is it a hard feeling? Is it a soft feeling? Is it a gooey feeling? If it were a color, what color would it be? Would it be glowing, bright white? Would it be red? Would it be steaming? So really think about how you would describe it, or if you were asking a child to draw it, how would they draw it on a piece of paper? So that's noticing. And the final step, the third step, is to nurture your emotion. So pause for a minute and ask yourself, what is it that I really need right now? You may not be able to give it to yourself, but sometimes we can. Maybe if you're feeling anxious, you really just need to feel safe. Place your hand on your chest and tell yourself you're okay. If you're stressed or overwhelmed, maybe you need to contact somebody and delegate some of your tasks at work or at home, or to ask someone for support. If you're feeling lonely, maybe you need to reach out to somebody, but think about what is it that you really need right now and try to give it to yourself or request it from somebody else. So why does this work? Well, there's a couple of things here. So the first part, where we name our emotion, it gives us emotional clarity. And those people who are more clear on what emotions they're experiencing are better able to work through them and choose productive coping mechanisms. So that's the first part, just being aware. Think about it as if you're in the middle of a storm and it doesn't seem to have any beginning or end. All you can do is feel like you're drowning in the storm. But by getting this emotional clarity, by giving it a name, it's almost like you're removing yourself from the storm. You're getting a totally different vantage point. And it's important to have this vocabulary. The second part, where we notice it in our body, helps to get us out of our heads and down into our bodies so we can actually process it. The more we resist it or we refuse to let it be, the longer it's going to linger. Think about resistance equals persistence. And by focusing on it, it brings us into the present moment and helps us to practice being mindful, which doesn't always come naturally to us. If we're lost in our emotions and our thoughts, we're not here in the moment. And by forcing ourselves to feel it in our body and notice it, it brings us back to the present moment with some level of awareness and curiosity, which are really helpful in helping us to work through our emotions. And then the final aspect, where we talk about nurturing it, is how we choose a more productive, purposeful response to our emotions. Because our emotions often are telling us something. Something is off, or we need something. And so emotions can be really helpful, but not if we're just reacting to them. So it helps us to be more purposeful. And by nurturing our emotions, by allowing them to be there, by giving ourselves the support that we might need in the moment, We're practicing self-compassion, which also does not come naturally to a lot of us. But self-compassion, we know that people who practice self-compassion are better able to regulate their emotions, to get less flustered when things are stressful or when things go wrong. And so it's a wonderful way to practice that level of self-compassion. This is a small practice. It took me much longer to explain it to you than it will take you to practice it in real life. So remember, the next time you're really stressed, anxious, or just overwhelmed, hijacked by your emotions, it's a 3-step process. Name it, notice it, nurture it. It's a small thing we can do to improve our well-being, to build our resilience, and to feel better. It doesn't take huge transformations or huge steps. It's little baby steps. Little changes like this can have a huge impact on your overall health and well-being. Give it a try this week and let me know how it goes.